Senate Judiciary Committee member John Kennedy. Senator, good to have you.
Thank you, Neil.
It seems inevitable, I could be wrong, and you're closer following the tea leaves than I am, that at least in the House, dominated by Democrats, eventually they're going to vote to impeach. I mean, there might be the drama in how they get this done and when they get this done, but they will do that. Then what?
I don't think you're wrong. When I watch the House impeachment proceedings, I am both perplexed and appalled. Here's what I hear Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Schiff saying to the American people. You're stupid and we're smart. I hear them saying to the American people, you're so stupid, you can't govern yourselves. I hear them saying, you're so stupid that you chose President Trump over Secretary Clinton, and we've got to fix it for you. I hear them saying, you're so stupid, we're not going to even show you the evidence. You can't handle it. We're going to do all of this behind closed doors and then tell you what we're going to do. And I find that appalling. I find it perplexing, Neil, because I read all these stories about Speaker Pelosi and what an extraordinarily talented politician she is and how she's a strategic thinker and a major tactician. And I think to myself, does she really believe the American people are going to fall for this? I mean, I know that Speaker Pelosi is a smart lady. She's not dumb. But if this were anybody else, I'd be thinking to myself, man, it must suck to be that dumb.
Well, but they can turn it around on you, Senator, and say, are Republicans stupid enough to keep carrying the president's water? They go back and saying whether it's his moves on Syria, what he did in Ukraine, the whole G7 thing, holding it at his Doral Club, that he does the kind of things that put guys like you on the spot. What do you say?
Well, I don't mind being on the spot. I don't mind having a public, not a behind the closed doors debate, a public debate with the president or anybody else about our conduct with respect to the Kurds or whether the issue's health care or whatever. But I've always believed, and I will continue to believe, shoot me when I stop believing this, that the ultimate arbiter is the American people.
So what do you think of your colleagues, your colleague Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, others who've spoken out against the president, some of these moves, Marco Rubio about the Turkey thing, others about the G7 and holding it at his club thing, that just as they're trying to defend him on some of this bigger stuff, he does stuff like that and leaves him in a difficult position. Even the New York Post, out with an editorial, a fairly conservative newspaper, saying, move the summit, Mr. President. What do you think?
I think this is America, and you're entitled to your opinion. And I'm glad that Marco and Mitt are saying what's in their heart. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't agree with the president, and when I disagree, I say so publicly, and I talk to him privately.
Do you know if your colleagues feel? But Senator, I just want to ask you. You're your own man. I see that. I've talked to you for years. But one of the things that comes up is a fear among Republicans. If you challenge this president, he's going to tweet the living hell out of you. He's going to say what he did about Mitt Romney. He's an ass and all this other stuff. And they don't want any of that. They just say, I don't need it.
Well, look, we both know the president, Neil. The president is not a turn the other cheek kind of guy. He thinks if you turn the other cheek, you just get it in the neck. And so if you say something he disagrees... Yeah, but the turning the other cheek
thing worked for Jesus, right? I mean, it was all right. Right?
The president thinks if you say something he doesn't agree with, he's going to say something. Sometimes... I don't always agree with the way he says it, and I've told him before, you know, tweeting a little bit less would not cause brain damage, but he's not going to change. But that's okay. I mean, that's what the American people expect. Some of these issues are pretty tough, and reasonable people disagree, and I don't mind having.
Well, do you think he should move that Doral Club location, just as for instance?
You know, yes. And if the president asked me my opinion, and he hasn't, I would tell him, Mr. President, don't lead with your chin. You know, this just creates more controversy that, quite frankly, we don't need right now. I would tell him to move it, but do I think he's going to move it? No.
Okay. Senator Kennedy, it's always a pleasure. You speak your mind frankly and consistently. Senator Kennedy, on that